Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Phil's Recap and Review. This is the best and the worst shows of 2022 live stream, a Happy New Year stream here on this Friday night on the day before New Year's Eve in 2022. And I'm not alone tonight. I have with me a guest who is here to talk all about some of the shows that we saw this year, so the good ones and the bad ones. I have with me the Don, Tony Teflon. Welcome, Tony.
Well, I don't know if you almost didn't get that out there right there, but I'm glad you did. What up to everybody out there in the chat? What up to all my people going on, Phil? I'm happy to be here to talk about best and the worst shit that happened this year, because there's a lot of good, but there was a lot of bad. This is going to be the Festivus recap.
Yes.
I got a lot of problem with these shows, and right now they got to hear.
We got to air some grievances for sure. But yeah, you're right. I almost didn't get it out of there. I'm like, but I pulled it out in the end. I always get a little nervous and a little freaked out at the beginning of these streams. We get a special guest appearance from the description guy. Maybe the description guy might get special mention in awards for the bust out performance. We got a bunch of performances here tonight. The main one thing that we're going to try to do by the end of the time that we have Tony here, I only got Tony until 8:30, so we're going to try to bust this out as quickly as possible, but I might do like an after extended show, but Tony's got to run at 8:30. But what we're going to try to do here is take the top 10 shows that you guys are suggesting. Feel free to call on in, 781-990-8509. Leave a text message if you want to do that. Leave some Q&As in the Q&A I put out there. We're going to try to get this to 4. Get this to 4 shows, and then we're going to bring the vote to you guys in the audience. I'm going to set up a poll. You're all going to vote on my poll. You're going to put in your vote, and we're going to try to figure out what the consensus pick for the best show of the year is. And we're not going to go as far with the other ones. I'm just going to mention a bunch of bad shows when we get into the bad one, and then talk about a bunch of actors that are standout performances. And that's the stuff we're going to do first. Bust out performances we're going to talk about tonight. I want to get Tony's opinion on what streaming platform or network won the award this year. Was it AMC pulling it out with the Walking Dead series finale, and also Better Call Saul, double fisting that? Was it Apple pulling out Severance? Was it HBO with White Lotus, Succession, and House of the Dragon? Was it Netflix? It wasn't Netflix, but it might have been Netflix. We could talk about Netflix too. Or was it some of these other things? So I didn't really prepare Tony for this. I just sort of threw him to the fire, and I'm going to be throwing out a lot of different ideas. Let the stroking commence. But we're not alone, Tony. We also got the live motherfucking chat. We got Jack, we got Marky Mark, we got Sonic, we got Carlo Wayne, we got JS, we got Jesse, we got Nola, we got Christian Oles, we got John Haymaker, we got Sandroko, we got so many good friends. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe over here at Teflon TV. I pop over there a lot on the Usual Suspects podcast that I do with Tony in Bridge 4. Tony, we're not going to I don't want to disclose some of your picks, because we're going to kind of go through mine, and then if I miss any of that, because I think we have a lot of crossover. But let's get into shitty first. Let's talk about some of the shitty shows, because I'm going to bring up, I'll mention my whole list, but let's start with one of the, what are some of the worst shows you watched in 2022?
The worst show that came out this year is one that just came out, and that is The Witcher Blood Origin. This is such a bad show. Top to bottom, the acting is terrible. The special effects are terrible. It seems that it was rushed. It seems like they just got it together in like a month and put it down there. Disgusting show. One of the worst things that I watched, I think, 20 minutes, and that's the end of that show for me. I couldn't get past 20 minutes of that piece of shit show.
Now, absolutely, I haven't watched it, but I heard it was described to me as the worst fantasy show of all time.
I would say it's close. It may be the worst. I mean, in order for me to find something that was worse than that, I would have to really think about it. So I would say, yes, it's definitely the worst, unless I can come up with something. I'm going to have to think about it, in order to come up with something that bad. But this was disgusting. I don't understand how they had the nerve to put that out there. I really don't.
So someone in the live chat, this is what we're going to do tonight, and I hope that you guys keep these suggestions going in, because on my list, Celebrity Bikini, because I haven't watched this Witcher show. I have heard, like I said to Tony, I've heard people describe it in these last couple of days as the worst fantasy show ever. And Tony's not refuting that. He's saying if there's a worse one, bring it to me. I want to see it. The suggestion here in the live chat is one of my worst picks of the year, and that is Willow. Willow is trash too. Willow is garbage. And it's cloying garbage. It's this garbage that's really, really bad because it's taking a legacy character. Not that Willow was the most popular movie in the world, but it's taking that and luring people in and telling a really stupid story. Like, the story itself is like some of the performances, the guy that plays the main not bad guy, but like the badass in the group, he's always spinning his sword for no reason. It's just like I don't know if the show's taking a piss, like trying to be a shitty show on purpose. But then it's like on the Disney Channel, and some people can say, oh, it's for kids. But they're tripping on this show. There's an episode where they eat these things called like truth pears or something, and they all trip out. And they can't call it tripping out because it's on fucking Disney. People die, and they just laugh it all off. There's this dude that's like the guy that's taking care of the brother for his whole entire life, taking care of him, really important to him. He just dies as a comical like thing that happens off screen. I kind of like some of the characters that they're building on the show. I don't think that they're awful, but the acting is horrible on it, and it's too pretty in some ways. I don't know if it's the worst fantasy show of all time, but it's pretty fucking bad. I don't know if you tried to watch it at all, Tony. It's bad.
I did. I tried to watch it, and I failed at watching it because the show was just stupid. I mean, this is the problem, and when you do something, Willow, the movie, this is a classic movie. And this is why when I look at things and I say people want to adapt things and do things over, leave shit alone because you can't do it. And this just proves that it can't be done. You know what I mean? It is one of the worst things that I have ever seen in my life. I had high hopes for this movie.
Me too.
High hopes for it. You know, I was like, oh, Willow, all right, we're gonna get some. We got nothing.
And
it was
terrible, fucking terrible, Tony.
Terrible.
And Sonic, your boy, asks, is Val Kilmer in it? No, but they talk about him a whole lot, and
he knew better. He said, "Fuck that."
He literally and that's what they do. And I don't know if they asked him, and he said no. And I know he's in a compromised physical position and all that kind of stuff. But they fit him in Top Gun and stuff. But and there's even a way through the story that I think that they could have brought him in, because in the story he's going after, they said he left his family to go after some magical armor, and then that could have made him all messed up in some ways, like going after it, touching the magic stuff could have fucked him up or something. But I'm glad he's not a part of this trash heap. It's really, really bad. They do mention him a little bit too. Luna says, agree with Tony, some things should be left alone. Celebrity Bikini says, not yet. As I enter the scene, I see being around all friends. What's up, family? Great to see Edward Martin in the live chat. Lots of love. One of the most positive energy people in all of the live chats. When we see Edward pop on and he's or commenting on a post or replying to something, it's always positive energy. You're good people, Edward. Not just unlike some of these other people in the live chat that are, I know you guys are, you guys are horrible. No, I'm kidding. You guys are all awesome. Thank you so much. I'm trying to get into Willow. It's just very hard. Celebrity Bikini, I feel the same way, but my problem with it is I'm trying to get into it. I don't like it, but I'm hate watching it. It's one of those shows.
It's like, listen, if you're a size 52 waist and you're trying to get into 30 pants, it just can't happen.
It just doesn't work.
And that's just what it is. It's no way for this to ever work. It's just not a good show. Everything about it is shitty. Everything. There's nothing I could say that was good about it.
No.
It's just straight shit. Straight garbage.
Even Warwick Davis, who I like as a performer, seems to be acting like shit in this show. Either the way he delivers dialogue is not as good. He hasn't gotten to be a better actor. He was way better in the original Willow. So I don't want to spend too much time.
He's better. I just think that we were naive because we were young.
That's a good point, Tony. That's actually an excellent fucking point, my friend. Okay, so let's continue through this. I want to talk about some more bad shows. Two quick ones here at the bottom of my bad list because they're not really bad. They were both good shows that ended bad, Tony. One of which You covered with an amazing succession this year, one of your highest rated response shows of the year, but ended like a pile of shit that's making me put this on my worst list because of how much the ending pissed me off. And the other one is The Ozark. Of course, I'm talking about Ozark and I'm talking about Dexter New Blood. Both shows, people can hate me if they want, people that like the ending of Ozark. I loved Ozark. The first half of the ending, I would put the first half of the ending on my best stuff. Like the season got split in two. That first one that ended with Julia Gardner going, and you're going to have to fucking kill me. That was like one of my high moments of television in a long time. I was in it. And that last end of that season, the way they made her character just be stupid and walk up to the car. Spoiler alert for all shows. Spoiler alert for all shows. The way they just have her walk up to the car and like act like a fucking idiot after she's like hanging out on the roof of her car, shooting everyone that comes near. She just acts like an idiot and dies. And the way that they set it up at the end was just cheesy and stupid. They set up all this stuff with Wendy that seemed like it could have been cool, and then it all amounts to nothingness, a big fucking nothing burger of a series. And I'm gonna pass this over. Tony can obviously mention Ozark, but and then there's Dexter New Blood, Tony. Like, great show for you, but what happened at the end there? They managed to fuck it up twice.
So this is, I got two different feelings about this. So Ozark, I love the ending. So I can't agree with that.
Okay, fine. You can disagree with me. Disagree with me all you want.
I'm going to tell you exactly why I love the ending. I love the ending of Ozark because the bad guys actually won.
Fair.
And it was realistic. Like everyone was like, oh, they did all this crime, they did all this, they had to pay the price in the end. Rich people never pay the price. Political people never pay the price. And when she said, you can't win, she goes, why not? Why not? This is what we see this all the time with people who are rich in politics and in power, that they don't get their up and comings. And so I like the way they did that, because to me, that is more realistic than them actually getting caught. So that's why I like it.
Excellent point, Tony. And I'll relent to that. The ending was probably, that's what they were trying to do with it, and they successfully did that. I must admit, I fell into the trap of the Tony Soprano disorder. The disorder that the people that I got pissed off at the end, I didn't get pissed off at the end of The Sopranos, but I see why people did, because they wanted to see Tony get shot. If Tony got shot, Tony got shot. If he got shot, people wanted to see it. I wanted to see them get caught. So in a way, to your point, they achieved exactly what they wanted to do with that ending and show you that the rich, successful douchebags won in the end. And so fair, good point, fair point.
So that's my point. Now, Dexter was a great series, but the ending was trash. They really fucked up the ending 2 times in this show, and that's really hard to swallow because they bragged about the guy, how this is the greatest ending ever, and I never wrote anything better, and gassed you up, and you came back after all that just to shit the bed
again. Yeah.
And that is, I agree 100%. Dexter was good, but the end, I liked everything about the show.
Yep.
But the ending was just so, you're going to have this guy just run away, and then his son's going to shoot him and leave him on it reminded me of Harrison Ford when he came back as Han Solo, only to die.
Kill me.
He said, I'll do it, but you got to give me an Indiana Jones movie, and you got to kill me off. Yeah. And he said, all right, do it. That is what happened.
You're going to have to.
It made me feel just like that, like a Kylo Ren stupid type of ending.
Like, kill me. And the other thing I think that really bothered me about it, it's like when you let somebody back in, whether it's a friend or a relationship, after they fucked you over, and you let them back in and they fuck you over again, and you feel like the stupid one, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me, and they fucked me over again in the ending. Like, I got into Dexter, got to the ending, I was I'm a lumberjack and I don't care. And then like I saw you covering it, I'm like, I'm not gonna get into this. But like, from your awesome coverage of the show, it got me to want to watch it, and then I caught up, was able to talk about it with you guys, and it fucked me over again, and I'm like, oh, I'm stupid. But it's not worth really mentioning on this list, other than mentioning the disappointment I felt on those 2 things. The next series I want to talk about, I'm not really going to talk too much about because I haven't actually seen it. I'm just putting it on this list because it's I guess season 3 did this, but it's worth mentioning on the horrible list because it did cancel the series. So little people actually watched this show that it got cast off its streaming platform and banished until the Peripheral is a hit and they can pick it up, and that's Westworld. I didn't watch Westworld season 4, so I'm not going to really talk about it, but it belongs on this fucking list. That's all I'm saying.
I didn't see it at all. I didn't give it nothing.
Yeah, nothing. The next one, I know I've heard you talk about this one, Tony, and I'm going to bounce over to you and talk about this one first. I know before the people come at me that like this series, I know it was a comedy. I know what they were trying to do. I understand the concept behind the series in that it doesn't necessarily have to be serious to be successful. But I still hate this series for fucking up my buddy Daredevil. And I just hate it. Like another series I hate watched it all. I don't know why I did, Tony, but I watched every goddamn episode of She-Hulk. What are your opinions of She-Hulk?
Let me explain to you about this fucking green disaster real quick. Let me get into this right now. I love fucking She-Hulk. Like, I love her. Like, when I was younger, I had the biggest crush on motherfucking She-Hulk. I loved her. And the character itself, when you've seen She-Hulk, phenomenal. That's it. Everything else about the show was disgusting. They made Daredevil look like a fuckboy toy. They had him jumping in off screen out of nowhere. And I understand they wanted to put some comedy. See, this is what you have to understand. This is the MCU did. And this is the reason why the MCU is failing right now. Not everything is fucking supposed to be fucking funny, right? That's not the way it's supposed to be, right? Whether it's She-Hulk, Thor, Love and Thunder, these are supposed to be, comic books are violent. If you ever read a comic books, a violent situation and a serious situation. They're trying to make everyone, not everybody's funny in real life. That's what makes the funny people funny. But they got jokes for fucking everybody. Everybody's telling a fucking joke. Like, everyone's a fucking comedian. That's not the way it motherfucking is in real motherfucking life.
Yeah.
Right? So She-Hulk was just disgusting. It was trash. I watched it and I hated every second of it. But I still watched it because of. But to me, you know, it would definitely be on the bottom, at least, if not 10, 11. I don't know if there's anything. The only thing worse than that is Witcher Blood Origin. That's number one. She-Hulk number 2 for worst show.
And a Falling Blade. We'll talk about Peripheral for new shows because I know Tony didn't get necessarily a chance to talk about the end. I didn't love the end of it either, but I did like the season enough to be excited to tune into that. When we get to talk about Amazon and stuff, I like that a whole lot more than Outer Range, which I kind of lost my love for while we were doing it. I was sort of like sleepwalking through. I wouldn't call it a bad series. It was well put together. It just got like ridiculous, like Twin Peaks ridiculous occasionally, and it was too much for me at times. But I actually really liked Peripheral. I just think they weren't sure how to close it out. I think I love all the actors. I love all the performances, and I'm excited to see Big Kev. Thank you so much for that super chat donation. Really love it. We'll talk a little bit about that, Jay, in a little bit. She-Hulk, thumbs down. And so next bad series I want to talk about, but in Westworld, quickly, Jackie. I really did love the first 2 seasons of Westworld. I talked about it on this channel. I even enjoyed season 3. I talked about it in Fragmentally. I just somehow with the long break, the COVID break, and I couldn't get back into it. And then when I started to watch the more recent season, I just I fell asleep with it. So it was hard to get into it. That being said, I'll give it all a binge watch when it shows up on Amazon eventually. Another series I watched like one episode of and then I ditched, and I was actually embarrassingly excited for this, and that's Blockbuster on Netflix. Deserves to be towards the horrible comedy, like two broke girls level of comedy, pathetically awful. Tony, I don't know if you watched it. I don't feel like we have to give it.
I did not watch that.
Another series I kept falling asleep on, and Disney Plus, fuck you. Boba Fett. Boba Fett was horrible. Was fucking trash, like a trash heap of boredom. The only good part, I know you're not a fan of The Mandalorian, but the only good part of the season was when the fucking Mandalorian and baby fucking Yoda showed up and saved that shit.
That shows you how much the show sucks. When Mandalorian is the best part of your show, that shows you, because Mandalorian is terrible. That just shows you how much it sucks. You see, Disney Plus is the 100% loser of the streaming wars
Yep.
this year. All their shows were terrible. They did not have one good show or one trending show all year. All year. You can go through the whole shit and go through the Nielsen rate. They didn't have one trending show. They had no show that reached the top 5 in any time for the whole year. It's this disgusting. Boba Fett was out of shape. And this is what they try to do. They just give you this is what Disney Plus does. They give you these names, Boba Fett, Willow, but don't actually give you a good fucking show. And that's the problem with
Dude.
They're more concerned about the marketing of the show than the actual putting out good projects.
It's nefarious the way that they're
Sonic, your boy. You don't know what you're talking about, man. Boba Fett was great.
We love you.
Yeah, I love you, Sonic.
We love you, Sonic.
You crazy on that one. I don't know.
And that's the thing. That's why I guess I should have started with hated the bad ones, because I'm going to alienate some people. Because this is what I'm saying.
Boba Fett sucked. There's no alien.
Right. That's what I'm saying. What I'm about to say.
Alienate.
If I like shitty shows, like some of these shows that I'm on this list, I watched all the way through, and I still think they're shitty. I'm gonna watch all of Willow, but it's trash. I watched all of She-Hulk. I don't know why I watched it all, but I watched it all, but it's trash. Boba Fett, I watched through it all. It was but it was bad. The next one, I can't speak to it. I know it has its fans. I fell the fuck asleep every time I tried to watch the first episode, so I can't speak to the rest. I tried 3 times to watch Rings of Power, and I fell asleep every fucking time, Tony.
The Rings of Power, I thought was okay. It wasn't great. It wasn't terrible.
It was just boring. Okay. It was boring to me.
It was okay. You know, just like the other one. What the fuck was the other fantasy series they put out there? Not the Rings of Power, the one that Bridge covered.
Oh, yeah. What the fuck's it called? Yeah, I know the one you're talking about.
But that one, too, it was all right. It just wasn't special. And that was the problem with
I was just bored.
My problem wasn't special. It didn't give us enough.
Yeah, my problem was just boring. I don't think it was bad necessarily. It looked okay. It was just boring to me. So here we get into my actual top 3 worst series. Up until that point, there was no order. Here are my top 3 worst series of the year. Number 3, How I Met Your Father. Fucking awful. Again, I watched all the way through it because I just couldn't help it. And it had a couple of cameos from How I Met Your Mother. How I Met Your Mother, good sitcom that ended pathetically, could be a candidate for worst series finale of all time. Another podcast Tony and I will do in the future. Horrible show, badly written, bad comedy. Cast doesn't have any chemistry. I'm sorry to people that like it. I'll watch season 2 as well because I want to watch the dumpster fire. Number 2 on that list of the worst shows of the year, Picard, season fucking 2. Fuck you, CBS. Thank you for Strange New Worlds and Lower Decks. Those shows are pretty fucking good. Whatever. Go fuck yourself with Picard and Discovery. Picard, the first 2 seasons have been awful. You dragged me back in season 2 at the beginning, and you ended it like dog shit. In number 1 on my list, you know it. Say it out loud with me, everyone in the live motherfucking chat. The Walking fucking Dead. Horrible. Go fuck yourself, AMC. You basically took the final season and you set it up as a pilot for future series. You announced all the major characters that were living, that were getting new series, like Negan and Maggie, Daryl and Carol had a series, Rick and Michonne coming back, doing all the stuff, another couple series. So you didn't do anything interesting with the end. You ended with a whimper. How many of you out there that I'm talking about are going, oh, The Walking Dead was still on? Yeah, exactly. Walking Dead, pathetic. And those are my worst ones. Any other bad ones, Tony, for you?
Walking Dead was terrible, but it wasn't as bad as that motherfucking Witcher. That Witcher Blood Origin is just the biggest piece of trash. I'm talking Oscar the Grouch is all over this motherfucker. The worst thing I've ever seen. That it's really truly one of the worst shows I have ever seen in my fucking life. Like how someone actually watched that show and greenlit that to come out is disgusting. It makes me think that it's possible that anything can come out. I'm trying to think of a bad show to say like it was as bad as this. Joni loves Chachi.
Joni,
it's that level of shittiness.
At least the music was all right. So I put up the poll right now. We'll have it up for a few minutes as I would go through a couple of other things. My picks, the top 4. I put in other 2 in case we don't have it. So the top 3 are Blood Origin, She-Hulk, The Walking Dead, or Other. And if it is other, people in the live chat can shout it out. But I'll keep that poll open for a little while, and we'll see what the response is as I go into a couple of other categories here. Best Actor of the Year, Tony. This is a tough one, so I don't want to pick necessarily one. Just talk about a couple of them. Of course, Bob Odenkirk deserves respect for the way he ended the series of Better Call Saul. We'll talk about Better Call Saul in a little bit more detail later, but I'll say my list and then like see if I missed anybody and give your thoughts on these people. Bob Odenkirk, Patty Constantine as Viserys on House of the Dragon, Homelander. I don't know the guy's name right now. Anthony Starr, whatever. Homelander on season 3, he just continues to be one of the most captivating fucking characters on television. This motherfucking Homelander, Tony, I love him. I can't get enough of him. That show seems like it's on my top list, by the way. It seems like that show, the joke is gonna run tired, and it doesn't. And for me, it really fucking doesn't. Harold Perrineau, I pronounce his name right, from really, I love everyone on From, but great show, and we're going to talk about that later too in our top list. I think it's on both of our lists. But he is a cut above the rest of everyone. I love all of you rest of your actors on that show. You guys are all awesome. But he's, it's Harold fucking Perrineau. It's for fucking Romeo and Juliet and Oz and like in Law. I mean, that's fucking Harold fucking Perrineau. A dude that I want to give credit to here, and he's the dark horse on my list and the last one of my best actors, Jeremy Allen White on The Bear on Hulu. This dude was Lip on Shameless. Looks like Rodney Dangerfield. Like if they ever did a Rodney Dangerfield biopic, he'd play young Rodney. This dude killed it on The Bear. I'm not saying it's going to be a show for everyone, and I'll talk about it a little bit later too, but I feel like all those are my best actors. Did I miss anybody, and what are your thoughts on some of the people I mentioned, Tony?
I think you got just about everybody that I would put on the list for best actor, and to me, I really have to say that I have no choice but to give it to Bob Odenkirk. Yep. I just think that when you look at and everyone on the list is up there, and they deserve to be up there, but no one played a better role than Bob Odenkirk did for the final season of Better Call Saul. Yep. I don't, listen, the dude from Severance too, we didn't put him in there.
Oh yeah, Michael Scott, is that something like that?
Yeah, he deserves to be.
He deserves to be in there. I'm gonna give Severance is gonna get its due. And the other thing you have to take into account with Bob Odenkirk, I know you shouldn't, but he had a fucking heart attack while shooting the show and rubbed some sand on that shit and kept going, Tony.
Yeah. I mean, you could give Lalo best supporting.
Lalo, you could give Matt Smith credit. Yeah, I have another category coming out, not supporting, but bust out character, and both those people are on that list. Actress, I want to mention Julia Gardner as on Ozark as both actresses on Ozark are some of the best work. I might have trashed Ozark a little bit earlier, but some of the best acting in years. That show is tight as shit. And Julia Gardner and Wendy Bird there. Those two both are worth mentions. I also want to give special mention to someone that's getting a lot of attention. Maybe some could argue more than she's turned into like the Tom Holland sort of thing. Like they're putting her in everything, but Wednesday was delightful, and I'm blanking on the name of the actress right now. Someone can throw it in the live chat. She killed it and created a very iconic role, and took an iconic role of Wednesday and made it her own. Jen Ortega, I believe that's her name. Maybe. She just killed it, and that show was delightful. But again, this isn't going to be a dead heat all for this show. It is the thumbnail after all. But the best actress of the fucking year is Ray Seahorn playing Kim. Like, give her everything. Give her all the awards.
Yeah, I don't, listen, there were a lot of Euphoria.
Elizabeth Moss on Handmaid's Tale.
These people have done excellent job. And I'm not going to say they're not, but truth be told, Ray Seahorn just stole the show.
Yeah.
If you look at her acting performance in this last season, you could put that in a classroom to teach acting, because I can go through episode after episode, the progression of the character that she showed, all the way to the part when she finally broke down.
Yep. Oh my God,
it was
dude.
so believable from everything that we've seen from episode to episode. It couldn't have been done better. Truly not. And that is why, without a shadow of a doubt, and I'm not just trying to Better Call Saul. I love Better Call Saul. I'm telling you the truth. These two deserve these awards.
Absolutely, and I know we can hear you, Tony. Don't worry too much about it, but I think it's I'm not going to use this as a connection tool next time. The mic connection's a little fragmented, but we can hear Tony. It cuts in and out a little bit, but it's not Tony's issue. It's my issue using the Google Meets. The vote for Google Meets is it's not an effective tool for audio. But so I won't use it next time. But anyways, and I don't want to waste time switching it up right now. But anyway, so yeah, I agree. I would even put her performance, and I think her performance in the last 3 seasons, I would give her the acting gold medal, like above anybody. Like if we're just saying best actor, I would give it to Ray Seahorn for the last 3 years. Like her, or not 3 seasons of Better Call Saul. I think once Chuck left, once Michael McKean's character left, she took over as the second lead of the show, and she just raised the game. And I can't wait to see the series she does with Vince Gilligan. Zendaya in Euphoria, amazing. Hey, Phil, have you seen Weeds?
Yeah, she's Zendaya in Euphoria was great.
Yeah,
I'm not telling you that she wasn't.
Everyone we're mentioning is great.
Was amazing, and the actress who played Wendy, amazing. You can give it to them. If you wanted to give it to them, I'm not going to fight you on it. But I'm telling you, truthfully, Ray Seahorn deserves it more than all.
Exactly.
This is her year, without a shadow of a doubt.
And
from episode to, and I'm judging this not just from one episode, from beginning to end. Every episode that she was in, she stole the scene every time she was in it, no matter who she was in it with.
Oh,
she was in it with Bob Odenkirk, and she was out acting Bob Odenkirk.
And John Haymaker, I don't know how to always talk about that series, because it's people can flab that shit and turn someone that was a scumbag of a human being and like a horrible fucking dude into a television character. But yes, Evan Peters playing Dahmer. Dahmer is mentioned on my top list. It's not necessarily in my top 10, but it's in my something else's, like my extra ones to mention. So Dahmer was a well put together series, and he killed it playing that role.
Like I had to put it in the top 10.
Yeah, me too. It was so good. It was the best series beginning to end that Netflix produced all year. Yeah. And Evan Peters is a treasure of an actor, that he can play something as lighthearted and funny and whatever as he did on as Quicksilver, and then hit him amazing on Mayor of Easttown, and obviously American Horror Story, and everything he shows up in. And this was one of his best performances. It reminded me of, say, Robert Downey Jr. playing Chaplin. Like he just like owned the playing somebody else in a way that he just became him. And that's why it makes me uncomfortable talking about it, just because Dahmer was such a fucking great, and I think some people are dressing up like him for Halloween and shit. Like, come on, it's fucking Jeffrey Dahmer. Like fuck that shit, you know? But whatever. Jennifer Coolidge from White Lotus deserves an honorable mention. Tony, the one show, and I haven't watched it, but I know it's gotten a lot of love, and it's the only good thing Disney produced all year, and I know it just before not even watching it, would probably be Andor. And that's the one critically acclaimed Disney series that came out.
It was terrible too.
I did not watch it.
All you have to go look at the ratings of the show from Nielsen. It never cracked the top 5. It was not good. It only got views because people were able to binge watch it when it was dropping week to week. Nobody was watching it. Listen, Rogue One, to me, is the best Star Wars based movie to come out since the first 3 movies. All right. That's how much I like Rogue One. The best. Period. I love Rogue One. And I love the actor who played in it, but they just didn't get it. They truly didn't get it. I see what they were going for. It just didn't work for me.
And it's definitely a series I can't speak too much to. I know some people would probably have it on their top list. So I can't speak to it. I will catch up on it at some point and be able to talk with Tony about that one way or another. Killmonger in the live chat says Andor was also fire. Euphoria, people in Milwaukee have been dressing as Dahmer for years, says John Haymaker. Okay, so bust out performance, best like bust out performance on a show that was, you know, the person you come out of a show talking about, and essentially this is a quick list. Eddie from Stranger Things, the most recent season. Obviously, that character was interesting for my own purposes too. You know, I mentioned this the other night. You know, I can go everywhere. People are like, Eddie, and I'm like, yeah, I'll take it. Chosen from Cobra Kai, not the best season of Cobra Kai, but Chosen killed it in every damn episode. He was just again one of the most incredible sort of like. I watched the show and I kept interested in it mainly for Chosen. Wednesday on Wednesday. And Damon Targaryen, Matt Smith Targaryen. He definitely won a lot of people over, and he was the reason a lot of people were watching the show. Whether it because they found Matt Smith hot or the character just incredibly interesting and layered, and they pulled off the character from the book that is a very, you know, interesting, multi-layered kind of character. So Tony, what are your thoughts on some of the bust out characters? Anyone I forgot to mention that might come out to you?
It's Evan Peters. I mean, if you're going to say bust out character, bust out role, this is the guy who came off of Mayor, won an Emmy off of Mayor of Easttown, right to this role. And you just see his acting level going up every time. You remember this guy, you know, when you get known, he was Quicksilver. That's what people know him for. You know what I mean? Then he went and played Boner, Mr. Boner on WandaVision. You know, he came in and did that. He went from Boner to Mayor to this. I think you have to say.
Yeah, he's such an incredible character. People say, Eddie, I'll get to that guy in a second, Doozy. And welcome, everyone. Thank you so much. And if anyone has to call in, and let's take a quick look at our poll. Right now, we got 32% say other, so there's other bad ones. But The Walking Dead, 25%. She-Hulk, 25%. So She-Hulk is winning. We'll give it to The Walking Dead and She-Hulk as a tie for worst ones. Let's get into a similar category. And this is really, I only have 3 picks for this one. Best villains. Harmony, Patricia Arquette from Severance. I thought Patricia Arquette killed it. I don't even know if she's a full-on villain, but she made me so uncomfortable through the whole season watching Tony. I just, like, she just, like, there was just something about her, and she pulled off this, made me feel like every boss I've ever had, every teacher, every guidance counselor, every person, like always watching me in the way she was his neighbor too. It just really fucked with me. Great villain, great character by Patricia Arquette, who in a show that she might get swallowed up by an amazing cast and forgotten about such a really great performance by her.
Yeah, I think she did. There's different levels of acting. And she's on a different level of actor than most actors. Like, she's on a different tier, like her, Toni Collette. You know, you talk about these actresses.
Angela Bassett.
Yeah, it's a different level of acting that they do. And that is why I would definitely put her there. I don't know if you see, to me, a villain, you know, she was the villain, I guess, but she not
real. That's why I'm saying she's not really a villain. So the villain thing comes down to 2 for me. Yeah, you could give it to Wendy Bird every year, but this really comes down to 2. You guys in the live chat are already saying my number 1 pick. But my number 2 is Vecna on Stranger Things. I thought finally Stranger Things got a good villain. And like the villain wins in the end, essentially. Like it was Stranger Things is on my list, and not every season of I'm not like a Stranger Things fanboy. I'll watch it every season, but yeah, whatever. You know, it's pretty good. The last couple of seasons were good. I liked it, but this season was awesome, and I think it was mainly awesome because of Vecna. But really, I'm sorry if this is just going to be me licking the labias all night of Better Call Saul, but the number 1 best villain is Lalo fucking Salamanca. Oh my goodness, what a character. What a performance with someone, and it's also the guy that took got the most out of the little. Like Lalu, this actor took like what could have been just a forgotten about character or like a whatever character, Tony, and he made him. Someone said the crab feeder. Fuck you. But Lalo is hands down to me the best villain in years.
He's so good that the guy in Ozark really tried to copy him.
That dude straight copied him.
Like that's how good he is. Like this is a character. It's hard to say anyone. How are you going to say anyone? I mean, I think that the guy, I forgot his name right now. I should know his name. From Dexter, I thought he did a really good job.
Oh, Michael Scott. No, Michael C. Scott. Is that someone?
You need to know he played in Shawshank Redemption.
Oh yeah, I was thinking. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he did a really good job in Dexter as the villain, without a shadow of a doubt. He was great, but it's a different level when you deal with Lalo. He's so much of a. You know, when you like the villain, that's how you know he's the best.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you like him. You like when he got, you got mad that he got.
And
you're like, oh no, he's gone.
Tony,
you don't want him to leave.
To the point where our Carmine from Red Team Review has said he had trouble, and I know he speaks for a lot of people that have trouble with the second half of the season because once Lalo was gone, a lot of the tension that he built up in the room. And I love the ending of Better Call Saul, but I'll even accept that once Lalo disappeared, there was an element of danger that just disappeared from the show. And that if people were following it and feeling it in that way, that I can understand that. I can understand where people like Carmine are coming from, where that was sort of, that might bring another show to number one over input Saul to number two. Not for me, but for some people it might do that. I want to mention shows I haven't necessarily watched. Luna says Ruth Wilson, Miss Courier in his Dark Materials, but most people say I agree. Clancy Brown, Tony, is the person. I believe Clancy Brown was also.
Clancy Brown did a great job.
Yep.
As a serial killer, the way he played it was amazing. You know, likable guy. You wouldn't think of it, you know, and taking chicks and bombing them and turning them into trophies and display cases. 100%. Great job. He did a tremendous job.
So moving right along here, because I want to make sure to get through everything here that we can. Tony mentioned this before. Worst streaming platform network of the year, the most gathering of shitty shows. I don't think I'm gonna argue with Tony's pick for Disney. I think Disney wins that. I'm a Disney fanboy when it comes to old Disney animation stuff like Donald Duck and I'll go to Disney World and I love my Disney and I love my cheesy Disneyness. But the shows that they're producing are hot garbage. And it's assembly line shit that is the equivalent of like Adam Sandler movies, like in the sense of like they're just like autopilot or Disney wins the worst. For the best, AMC, Better Call Saul, Interview with the Vampire, HBO, White Lotus, Succession, House of the Dragon, Netflix, Dahmer and Wednesday, Hulu, The Bear, Amazon, Outer Range, The Boys, Peripheral. Disney, no. Apple, Severance in the Jack series. I forget what it's called, but I'm sure Apple has some other ones. Epics.
Yeah, they also had that show with Samuel Jackson, Olympiary. I forgot what it's called on Apple, which was good. But all around, it's HBO Max.
Yeah, it's got to be HBO.
It's HBO Max at the best year. When you look top to bottom of the quality of the shows and the watchability of the shows.
Peacemaker,
Succession, House of the Dragon, White Lotus,
and
go through those. Euphoria,
Peacemaker.
Yeah, Peacemaker was great.
We haven't talked about Peacemaker yet, and John Cena deserves the credit in the bust out character. John Cena killed it on that show.
He does. He did a great job. When you look at all those shows, I mean, it's hard to say that. I love Amazon. I wish I could say Amazon had good shows, but
good year,
not as many. And a quality level, like Jack Reacher. I mean, is it Jack Reacher that just came out right now?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it's called, it just came out right now recently. That's a great show on Amazon. They had really good shows, but HBO is still the best.
HBO is the king, and and they haven't been dethroned in the way. And I know they had some drama with everything they've canceled. I know Jay is somewhere in the chat yelling at me to say Young Justice, most recent season 2 of another great show on that HBO. HBO is an embarrassment of riches, and they still have quality in their development team and the way they develop series and give series chances to grow. So that may not continue moving forward. Next year when we do this again, Tony and I might be having a very different conversation, and Amazon might take over because you got Invincible, The Boys, Outer Range, and Peripheral with new seasons too. So Amazon might take them over next year, but we'll see. Okay, so a couple of quick ones that until we get into it, and we're going to switch over to talk about our main topic of the night, which is the top series of the year. Game of the year, quickly for me, would probably be Elden Ring, because I haven't played a lot of things, and I did play Elden Ring, and I'm still playing it. Also, Stray, that game when you were a cat. I know, Tony, you're also a gamer. Do you have a game of the year, like the game?
So it's VR game of the year is Demeo. I think Demeo is, without a shadow of a doubt, the number one VR game to play. If you have the headset and you like to play Demeo, come play with me. I love Demeo. I play that almost every day of my life, and then I play for hours at a time. So that is Demeo. As for game of the year on this council, I think you have to go with God of War. God of War is the follow-up to the show. This is the bottom line. God of War is so good, they're making a TV series about this video game. About this video game that just came out. Not the whole God of War series. Strictly about this video game that just came out. They're doing a God of War series on it. That's how good this series is. Especially when you came off the last God of War and you changed up everything to make God of War this way. And you would say, how can you follow it up and make it better? They did. They followed it up and they made it. Elden Ring's a great game.
Yeah, no, it's a fun game.
It's just not playable for everybody.
No, and it doesn't have a story or a narrative where God of War. I've watched God of War. I haven't played it, but I watched it, and it's captivating. It's really captivating, and I think both those games deserve their credit and they deserve their love. And we could, Tony and I want to do a lot more over here with Tony with some gaming stuff, because I know Tony's a big gamer and I am as well. So we could have some fun in 2023 talking about some fun games. Quickly to movies, a lot of really good movies this year, but I think Tony and I are both more TV guys, but we have seen movies. I enjoyed Elvis, Baz Luhrmann's Elvis. I thought that was pretty good. I know it's over the top and crazy, but I thought it worked for what it was. Nope was really good. Glass Onion was good. Top Gun was good. The Batman was pretty good, a little boring, but I liked it. But my movie of the year so far was Violent Night, the movie with, speaking of Stranger Things, with what's his name. I enjoyed it. It's fucking fun. It was just or Glass Onion. I also really like Glass Onion. I like Knives Out, and I thought Glass Onion is an amazing movie as well. So those are probably my top two movies of the year: Violent Night and Glass Onion. But a lot of decent movies this year.
Yeah, I liked Top Gun. I really did. And I'm gonna tell you,
great. It was great. It was fucking great.
You know, it just transport, like, is it 80s cheese? Of course, but it's 80s cheese done perfectly. So when you see it, like when they do all these remix for these TV shows that were movies, this is what it's supposed to be. This is the way you do it, and this is why it works. It was 80s cheese done right. They knew what it was. It didn't try to be something else, and it just worked what it was. So I enjoyed it. I truly enjoyed watching Top Gun.
I agree, Tony, and you're not the only one. It is the number one domestic grossing film of the year. Number 2 was Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Number 3 was Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Number 4 was Jurassic World Dominion. 2 of those movies were horrible. I really didn't like Doctor Strange or Jurassic World. Black Panther was pretty good. Minion: Rise of the Guru, I didn't see that. Number 6, The Batman, great movie. Number 7,
not great. The Batman's not great.
It's a good movie. It was a good movie. Avatar: The Way of Water, I have not seen that. Is number 7 at this point in the vote, probably higher this week. Number 8, Thor: Love and Thunder, not a good movie. Sonic the Hedgehog 2, number 9, and number 10, Black Adam was number 10, and I haven't seen that yet either. So let's get into it. we could do a whole stream separately on movies and games, but I did want to at least mention that as we go into our last stretch here and talk about our my favorite comedies of the year would just be The Bear or Only Murders in the Building. But let's get into our top 10, or I'm going to mention my top 10, and I know Tony has his top list as well, and we'll talk about each one of these series, and then like I said, we're going to try to set this up to 4 series we can all agree on. First, some honorable mentions. I want to talk about sorry, I'm not on the screen right now. I want to talk about but mention The Offer. Maybe I'm just a fanboy for The Godfather so much that I enjoyed watching the stupidest idea for a series ever, like a series about the making of The Godfather, but I loved it. And I thought it was pretty well done. Miles Teller is the main star of it. And you get like someone playing Al Pacino, someone playing Brando. It wasn't amazing, but I enjoyed watching it. Same with the Tommy and Pam series, as horrible as it was, or Winning Time. I thought that I enjoyed watching all those series. They wouldn't be on a top 10 list, but they were fun enough. And I put Wednesday on that list too. I think Wednesday was fun. I'm not going to say it's great. It's not for everybody, but if you're into the Addams Family, it was funny. But my top 10 list here, number 10 would be Only Murders in the Building Season 2. Continued to be a really funny show. Probably one of the best comedies. I hope it's not the last thing Stephen Martin does, but it is. Selena Gomez, Tony, I thought she was just sort of Justin Bieber's side piece and a horrible pop singer, but she kills it on this show with the two of them. I know you watched season 1. I don't know if you watched season 2. And season 3, I want to do it. We meant to do it in season 2, but we were busy with Better Call Saul. But with ourselves in the wonderful Anna, we want to do some podcasts about it over here on season 3. But she kills it. She doesn't miss a beat being right with the two of them that have worked together for 40 fucking years, she's amazingly funny on that show, and it surprised me.
No, she's a natural, and that's the best way to say it. When you can get out there and work with Steve Martin, you're a natural. You have timing of an actress, of a comedian. You know what I mean? It just came right out in this show. So no, I like the show. Would I put it 10? I don't know if it makes my top 10. But I do think I did enjoy the show. But I don't know. The Offer, yes, gets on. The Offer was great.
The Offer was great. I'm underselling it because I feel uncomfortable how much I liked it. But I liked every damn episode. The guy that played Francis Ford Coppola was so believable in the role. The dude that they got to play Pacino, I'm so glad you watched it, because I almost dragged you into doing reviews of it, because I'm like, Tony loves The Godfather. He'll want to talk about the show with me. But it was the guy that they got to play Pacino was so Pacino. Like he had Pacino fucking down. The Brando too. It was interesting. Like, people, I think Joe or somebody made fun of me, or like, oh, that's a stupid idea for a series, but it's actually so fucking interesting. It was really well done.
No, it's good. It was a really good series.
Yes, everyone, if you haven't already, please hit the like button. Please hit the share button. Thank you to everyone that's checking this out tonight. I know this isn't about a show, or it isn't about anything, so we appreciate every single person that's jumping on in here. And make sure you're subscribed to both me here and also Tony Teflon, to make sure you see all the Usual Suspects podcasts and all the times I drag Tony over here to babble with me about some stuff. And thank you to all of our channel members as well that help support us. Oh, and right here, you see this little picture? You see that picture right there? That is a movie palette, moviepalette.com. They take palettes, like each scene of a movie, and they put it into like a little display, and they sell them. I got this one from them. They contacted me and they said, hey, we want to put a movie palette on the back of your live streams. And I said, sure. And I acted like an idiot. I was like, I don't want a movie one. I want a television one. So they made that one for me, which is Breaking Bad episode Ozymandias. And to help you out, if you check it out, go to moviepalette.com. And if you like moviepalette.com and you like something on the site and you want to buy something on the site, use the coupon code Phil15. That's right, Phil15, and you'll get 15% off your first purchase at moviepalette.com. Like, maybe you're not into it, whatever, but if you go to their site and you like their stuff, make sure you take advantage of the discount. Okay, back to talking about favorite series. So the next on my list, number 9, another series that you and I meant to talk about, but we didn't talk about because you were going through some hard times, and also I just couldn't pull the trigger on doing it. And that, before we go into it, Luna says, thank you so much. One of the top comedies is definitely Atlanta. Great show. Lots of love to Atlanta. Yeah, Phil, thank you. That is a good sponsor. Yeah, I tried to slip that in organically instead of making it an ad read. But thank you so much for the super chat donation. Let me spin the wheel and give you a super chat. Love. Thank you so much for that super chat donation. It is great. It says your pick. So you can make me do push-ups. You can make me play a drum. You can do a lot of stuff. So you can make me spin the wheel again. So you get a pick. Basically, you're in control right now, Luna. I'm your puppet, and you can make me do something. So be nice to me. But number 9 on the list is Interview with the Vampire, Tony. I loved the Anne Rice books when I was a kid. I read them all. I liked the first movie, but it wasn't like perfect. Fucking Grey Worm. We talked about it a little bit the other night, but we couldn't get into it because of other topics. He killed it on the show. Like they did not give him enough work to do on Game of Thrones. So what are your opinions on Grey Worm and Interview with the Vampire?
Such a great show all around. I'd say both main characters did a tremendous job with it, and the little girl. I mean, not so little as we see in the show, but all of them, as it all fit. And yes, they did not. Grey Worm's definitely flexing his acting chops in this. I would have this a little bit higher than 9 myself, but I agree that it definitely should be on the list.
Yeah, Interview with the Vampire was great, and the performances not just by Grey Worm, because he was great. The guy that played Lestat too.
Yeah.
Who
was that? I would like to see him in a lot more stuff.
Yeah, dude, he was unbelievable. Like, he was so detestable. He reminded me a lot of the character that they had in the fucking Mel Gibson.
He played so snobby to the next level.
Yes.
Like that's as snobby as I've ever seen anyone play it. He did it as well as I've ever seen a snob play it.
100%. I was gonna say the guy in The Patriot that acts like the French guy in The Patriot. But yeah, one of the best snobs ever. Like, he should play every rich dickbag on television for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
He just killed it, Tony. I want to see him show up on House of the Dragon as a dickbag. I feel like this guy's not getting enough love because AMC is AMC, and it deserves credit when we get into our conversation here, but poor little AMC is like the last thing standing. You know, like the last network standing in the giants of the streaming world. They tried their little horrible AMC Plus app that's the trashiest app ever in existence. But ultimately, there's still a network, like a commercial network. So I think Interview with the Vampire doesn't get the attention it normally would because it's on actual TV. So that's what people are asking, where Interview with the Vampire? It's on AMC actual television. And that's why no one watches it. Because it's not on any streaming platform. You have to buy AMC Plus's trashy fucking system to be able to fucking watch it. And yeah. And that you can't even watch the final season of Better Call Saul on that because they don't own the rights to that. It's so pathetic. And that's where you get into these problems with the streaming stuff.
It was like, that little girl played her ass off in that role. I'm hungry. I'm hungry.
Exactly.
This is the whole thing. And the whole thing was like, when you had Grey Worm's character who didn't want to do it, didn't want to live that life, she was about that life. She was like, yes, I'm the apex predator. I'm taking down
she ate it up. And her dynamic with the Lestat was great. I wanna push on the whole like Lestat and Grey Worm, but the chemistry between her and Lestat was hot fire. It was hot fucking fire of that hatred between, and like the talking, where her and Grey Worm were talking to each other in their head, and Lestat, like you felt like Lestat could understand it and knew what the fuck was going on the whole time. Like, I feel like I wanted at the end to be like, I could hear you the whole goddamn time, you stupid fucks. And like, he would just sit there and deal with it the whole time. Like, and You said it. I'm going to say it again and again. He is one of the best pompous douchebags ever played on television.
Ever played on television, or he's one of the best.
Yeah. 100%. And Top Gun, I want to say, as Tony mentioned, I'm not sure if I said it at the time, I also agree Top Gun was one of my favorite movies of the year. All the practicalness of the way that Tom Cruise might be a crazy son of a... It reminds me of a South Park joke. When they're trying to, in an episode where they're trying to get help from a big plan, like they bring in a bunch of movie directors, and they bring in... someone create like Michael Bay is like bang 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 bang. It's like that say what you want, and they bring in Mel Gibson and say what you want about Mel Gibson, but he understands story structure. Like Tom Cruise might be a psychopath, but or not psychopath, a fucking crazy Scientologist, but he still knows how to make an action movie. He knows how to demand practical effects. He demanded all those actors to actually fly those planes and operate the cameras themselves. And Miles Teller, who also was in The Offer, said he like fucked up a whole take once because he didn't turn his camera on. He was like puking. They had to actually fly those fucking planes. So that movie, and it paid off in the way that looked. So Tom Cruise can be as crazy Scientology as he wants if he keeps making fucking good movies like Top Gun, Tom Cruise. Next on my list, some people might think it's low because it might be in some people's top 4. It might be in the top 4 we present to the audience, Tony. But my number, whatever number I'm at now, am I at 8 or something, is probably arguably, remember, everything in this top 10 are great shows. I watch a lot of TV. My number 8 is House of the Dragon. I loved House of the Dragon. It's hard for me. This is about the shows I enjoyed the most. I enjoyed watching House of the Dragon a great deal. There's just 7 more shows I enjoyed watching a little bit more this year. Great show, well put together, amazing. I know a lot of people might have it in their top 3. You might have it in your top 3 or top 4. Well put together. I think has some pacing issues, has some hairy stuff around the edges if you poke into it a little bit too much. But for the most part, a glorious success that deserves a place in the top 10. Tony?
Yeah, I have it in 6. It would be my 6th best show of the year. I wouldn't have it this low. I think they did a great job, especially for the first season. But the problem I would have is not a problem for me. I look at it for other people who have never read the books, and then talking to other people who were Game of Thrones fans and never read the books. Just the time jumps was just too much for them. Yeah. So I think that's the reason why I have to keep it low, because of that.
Jackie's like, blasphemy. I'm hanging up on this stream. Fuck you, Phil. Burn them all. If you think I'm an idiot for putting it this, this is what I forgot to wanted to say. I'm not putting it on the lowest list. It's still in my goddamn top 10. It's number 8. And I know people are going to be very questioning of the future picks on my top 10 list. And you can vote this down. I will put House of the Dragon in the top 4 because my top 2 are unarguable in what's going to be brought to the audience. You can show me how stupid I am by voting House of the Dragon number 1. My number 1 and number 2 are guaranteed have to be in there. We can argue about the third one that can be in there. Number 4 will be House of the Dragon. I'll allow that. What kind of an asshole am I? But I'll allow House of the Dragon can get that number 4 spot. But 2 of these are unquestionable, and I think Tony knows.
I'd have it at least 5 or 4.
5 or 4.
It's not that long.
Okay. So we'll put it in our top 4 to say, because I think I am an outlier here putting it low. So that's what I'm saying. In our overall, this is my pick. In the actual answer, we're gonna put it in the top 4 for a decision making one to bring that to you guys in the live chat. Number 7 on my list is what everyone's gonna be like, shitty pick, Phil. House of the Dragon's better than this one. But number 7 on my list would be Stranger Things. I think this was an excellent season of Stranger Things. I enjoyed this and loved watching it a great deal. It was awesome. I feel like they had found something for every character to do, and when everyone got brought back together, it was awesome. Winona Ryder killed it this season. I thought this was her best season on the show. Her dynamic with that other dude, I'm blanking on the actor's name, but I thought they were hilarious this season in their trip to Russia and that whole side plot. I thought the thing that worked about Stranger Things this season for me so much, Tony, is a lot of times when they split characters off on shows, one of the storylines that they split off will be boring to me. I enjoyed all of the storylines. I didn't fast forward on rewatches. I watched through all of it, and I think Vecna is one of the best villains that we've had in like a modern day Freddy Krueger in a sense. Like, I think he really is a horror. So Stranger Things is in my list. Would Stranger Things be in your top 10 or no?
No, it's not. It doesn't make it. It doesn't make it. Stranger Things not in the top 10 to me. I would put in this place Sandman.
Sandman. Okay.
I think Sandman was not only was it the budget a shit ton, but the movie itself was a very good movie. I mean, television show on Netflix, one of the best television shows that Netflix put out. So, and definitely wishing to have a season 2 on it. So, yeah, I would have Sandman.
Sandman. And people are saying, Killmonger says, Phil, you got Stranger Things actually too low. Okay, so next, because we're running out of time with Tony, and I will go on probably a little longer if we run out of time to do the poll, but Tony's got to jump out right at 8:30. So next one, I don't think Tony probably hasn't watched this one, so I'll talk about this one quick. Number 6 on my list is a show that isn't getting enough attention, so I'm not sure if this is going to be a season 4, but I thought it was fucking awesome, and that's Orville season 3. Orville is a surprise show. I don't like, and I want to preface this and say, I don't like Family Guy. I don't like Seth MacFarlane. In Cartoon Wars, I'm Team South Park. Like, Family Guy, like, I like the first couple seasons of Family Guy, but the joke ran quick for me, fast. And Ted's okay, but it's season 1 Family Guy jokes. And then that joke runs fast too. Somehow Orville is my favorite science fiction show on television. It's really well done. And season 3 ups it. It's less comedy, more sci-fi. Seth and his creative team really understand science fiction. And this show doesn't get enough love. I really love the Orville. I don't know if you ever gave it a shot or you like it at all, Tony, but
I never watched Orville. I couldn't.
It's basically like watching another season or another episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation. It's basically more Star Trek: The Next Generation. Number 5 on my list. Now we're getting into my top 5 list. Number 5 is The Boys. The Boys had a great season. So entertaining. What I love about The Boys is in the first episode, they did the Thanos, like, Ant-Man and his penis thing. They had, like, the Ant-Man guy go in someone's penis. Like, just to make sure if anyone was offended, they got out the door right away. Like, someone blows up in someone's penis in, like, the first 15 minutes of the first episode. And you're in for the ride. I don't know why The Boys continues to work for me, Tony, but it's one of my favorite shows of all time. It's so fucking good. It's so fucking good.
It is. It truly is. It does everything that you want it to do. It's faithful to the comics to where it has to be, and it changes it where it has to be, but doesn't disrespect the source material.
Yep.
And that's why it's so good.
I would argue it's almost even better. It's just different. It's different. Invincible, I would say, is better than the comics. Now they've read a little bit of Invincible. The Boys is just a different thing. Like the show, I like some of the changes, but some of the stuff that they do, like with Black Noir being the clone of Homelander and stuff, like I enjoy that better than what they did necessarily. But anyways, great show. Deserves to be top 5. Moving right along. Tony, I know this probably is going to be let me get into it. I'm changing on the fly here. My number 4 show. Oh, we do have a call here, quick. And we're going to get to our calls when we put our vote here. I want to give plenty of time for a vote and just get through our final 3, because mostly we've talked about all of these. There's only one we haven't talked about. My number 4 would be The Bear. I love The Bear. I watched it 3 or 4 times. I don't know why I love this show. Maybe because I worked in kitchens so much when I was a kid, and it simulated the feeling of working in a kitchen so fucking well. Like the tension, the stress you feel, especially when you're a young kid working in a kitchen for the first time. Like you feel that pressure and that tension. And I feel like The Bear figured that out and presented that in a way that other shows haven't pulled off. Bear's a great show. My number 3.
Yeah, my number 4 is Dahmer.
Dahmer's
number 4 for me. I have Dahmer's.
Dahmer, I love Dahmer. Like, I don't think I mentioned it, but it would be probably in my top 10 too. I just forgot about it to a certain extent. A great show. Number 3 for me, I think our top 3 is the same. I just don't know if it's the same order. Number 3 for me would be From. From was a surprising show. I really like Lost, and From sort of filled in those gaps, and I really like early Walking Dead, and From filled in those gaps. And it's not because Tony and I are known by the cast and this isn't a nerd crew thing like, we love this because they like us. No, we like this and they like us because we like this. It might not be good in season 2. I hope it is. But season 1 was perfect, awesome. I don't think I could have ended, it ended, I wanted more, but From is my number 3, Tony. I don't know where it is.
Yeah, it's my number 3 too. I love From. I truly wish I could make it number 1. I would love to make it number 1 because I love it so much. But it's just when you deal with these other 2 shows, it's just impossible.
Yeah, it's impossible
to make it anywhere over 3. But it's the 3rd best show of the fucking year. I mean, what more can you ask for? I mean, except for be 1 or 2. Great show. If you have not watched it, just watch. Anyone I know who watches it gets sucked.
Dude,
right
I was on with Preston and Carmine the other night, and we were talking about new shows and stuff, and I mentioned From, and Carmine downloaded and watched it in one night. He's like, dude, what the fuck? Like, how haven't I heard of this fucking show? And I feel like there's a lot of people like that. People in the live chat saying epic. Like,
From is it is that show.
It's that show.
So certain shows you could watch, but you have to truly like. So much going on.
This is a binge in one night kind of show.
Yeah, you can sit there and watch this whole motherfucker in one motherfucking night.
And yes, Sonic, cha-ching! Tony and I just cashed our Epics checks, and that's why we put it in our top 3. We're
You're saying who is from is a fan of Phil. We have interviewed multiple cast members from the show From.
Yep.
And we have interviews set up with other cast.
We have one more interview set up. So, and we know that at least the actors on the set of From have mentioned us that we're good, that they know that we're good people, that we're
the actress on the show has said that they know who we are and they have watched our videos and everything else, and that we're good people.
So they know us.
They said that. And go on my channel and you can
you can see it. You can watch it. You can actually watch it. Check it out on Teflon TV. We have an interview with Fatima, who plays what's her character's name? Fatima, and also Elizabeth Berkley, who plays Donna.
Yes.
So our number 1 and 2 are the same. Are the same. My number 1. I'm just gonna say my number 1 because we've talked about it at length. Better Call Saul is number 1. It stuck the landing. It's tough to stick the landing. I know it didn't satisfy everybody, but you can't satisfy everybody. Ending a drama series is hard. And the fact that Peter Gould and Vince Gilligan ended 2 series excellent deserve my number 1 spot. But it's tough not giving my number 1 spot to my number 2, which deserves special love because it might have been the bust out show of the year, and not enough people have watched it. And I don't know how you have these 2, and I'm gonna pass over to Tony as we're running out of Tony time here. But Severance and Better Call Saul. Severance is number 2. What are some of your thoughts of Severance? We never got a chance to talk about it.
It's hard for me to make Severance 2. It really is. It's hard for me to make it 1 past Better Call Saul. It's so close, like it's splitting hairs at this point. These 2 shows are definitely the 2 best shows of the year.
We need the audience's help here, I think.
It's just, and I don't know if enough people have seen Severance to say if it's not number 1, it's 1.5.
Yeah,
it's not really. It's not just to say 2 is a downgrade for it because it's so goddamn good of a show.
It's hard for me to even express how awesome it is to people because when I explain it, I feel like I never do justice for it, And right now I put it up. Best show of the year. We have Tony for 8 more minutes here. Let's get these votes in. We're going to listen to a couple of voicemails here and keep it going in the live chat. Yeah, our interview with Donna was awesome. We could have talked to her forever. Fatima was awesome to talk to too, but I feel like with Donna, we could have invited Donna.
Donna wanted to stay.
Yeah, if Donna could have been.
We had to get her off.
Dude, we could have. Donna could have been a usual suspect.
She was down. She wanted to stay. I was like, all right, you got to work tomorrow. We got to go.
So our vote here, best show of the year, Severance, Saul, Hot D, or Other. I put the other up as the fourth just in case we didn't pick the one you wanted and it's something else that we didn't pick.
From is the funnest show. Like if I had to pick, like right now, if I said, hey, I'm going to put a show on, I'm going to watch the show, I'm watching From.
Yep. Me too.
Watching From. Like I'm watching because it's the funnest show. It's the best show in that way.
Tony.
Just like I said, Top Gun knows what it is, and that's the best movie. Got that type of vibe. But as for overall, like story, quality, it's hard not to say that it's not.
Tony,
Better Call Saul, Severance.
It's tough because with Severance, like to your point there, I would rewatch From 10 fucking times. Like I'd rewatch that show over and over again. In the same way I rewatch Lost, in the same way I rewatch The Sopranos, Breaking Bad. For some reason, Severance, I have no urge to go back and rewatch that. Even though when I watched it for that first time, it was one of my best television experiences of all time. I have no urge to go back and watch season 2.
It's too much. That's why.
Right, it's fair.
It's too much.
It's too much. Every episode is like, oh my God. Oh my God.
It's too much. You know, it's like From, I'll put it to you like this. This is the way I can say it. And I don't mean this, and I don't want anyone to take this in a bad way, because I don't mean it in a bad way. From is like that good bowl of cereal. Like, whether it's Fruity Pebbles, whatever your favorite cereal is, Fruity Pebbles, Honeycombs, Frosted Flakes, you could always wake up at any time of the day, night, afternoon, pour yourself a bowl and be happy that you're eating it. But Severance and them, it's like Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah.
I don't want it all the time, but it's Thanksgiving fucking dinner.
Dude,
you understand what I'm saying?
100%. It's like Requiem for a Dream. One of the best movies I've ever seen, but I'm never watching it again. I'm never watching that fucking movie again, but it's one of the best movies I've ever seen. I have no urge to watch it. And Ben Stiller deserves incredible credit. He's always been a great filmmaker. I'm one of the fans of The Cable Guy, and I know not everyone is, but I love it. Couple of messages here before Tony has to go. This is from our good buddy.
You know, there are two From interviews. We interviewed 2 people.
Yeah, 2 people. Oh, DJ Better is in the live chat. Great to see DJ Better, Steph Snow, Sonic Your Boy, Julie Down. Thank you all of our guys, all of our guys and girls for joining us for this whole year. Tony and I are both, and Bridge 4 as well, all 3 of us are very lucky to have all the guys checking out all 3 of our channels. I think all of us we feel a kinship with each other, but we also feel a kinship with you guys in the live chat. So we hope you guys have a wonderful, happy new year, and make sure you subscribe to Teflon TV for all the usual suspect podcasts, and Bridge 4, obviously, for all of his amazing videos. And over here, I'm going to be dragging Tony over a lot more often for stuff in this year.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, a good bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, you can't beat it.
Delicious.
You can't beat it. You can't beat a bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. You can't beat it. It's not Thanksgiving dinner, but I don't want Thanksgiving dinner every day. I can eat Cinnamon Toast Crunch every fucking day. See, that's what I'm saying. It's like that.
I love.
You know what I'm
saying?
I
want.
That's what I mean.
Fuck so you, Tony. You're making me want some Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I think Tony, we got a boxing question for you before you go.
Yes.
Hey Tony. I know this is not on subject, but you're a boxing fan. Who you got between Ryan Garcia versus Tank or whatever in April? I got Ryan.
I got it. I can tell you this right there. All right, so it's pretty obvious to me that Ryan Garcia just doesn't have the chops to fight a Gervonta Tank Davis. If Gervonta Tank Davis, and he will hit him, and he hits him, he's going to knock him cold. We've seen Ryan Garcia. If you ever watch Ryan Garcia fight, and I'm telling you, go watch his fights. His chin is so straight up in the air. It's just begging to be hit. Begging to be hit. He reminds me of Amir Khan, and that's what's going to happen. Like Amir Khan had all the flash. He had everything that everyone thought. Oh, Amir Khan, he's fast. He hits hard. He does all this. He's long. Amir Khan got knocked out. And I think it's the same thing's going to happen to Ryan Garcia. He can't beat these top guys. He can't beat any. He can't beat Devin Haney. He can't beat Tank Davis. He can't beat Shakur Stevenson. None of them. He's not that good. He's good. He could beat the next tier down. He's a B level, but he's not an A class.
And Luna, or someone who said that, Glenn said, yeah, we will. I promise you, Tony and I will do a live stream where we rank cereals, but I only got Tony for a couple more minutes here, so I don't know, waste time on that. But I would put Captain Crunch and Cinnamon Toast Crunch very high on my list. I'll say that. I'm a big Captain Crunch fan. Captain Crunch and milk is one of the best things ever. Like, especially drinking that milk after the Captain Crunch, that sweet Captain
with
Crunch
the
fucking.
crunch berries. You gotta have the crunch
dude.
berries.
Like the milk after, like drinking the milk after you. That's one of the simple joys of fucking life. Tony, after our stream on your channel the other night, which you can check out, where Tony and I are talking about Secret Targaryens, a stream that was supposed to be featuring Gray and Bridge, and Tony and I rocked it. So we got a bunch of not weird, but interesting messages, and I'll get you out on this, and then we'll check out our poll, and then we'll say goodnight to Mr. Teflon, and I'll wrap things up and finish up the poll here. So Willis says,
hey, I was just wondering if this was the idea, try and get a hold of old, what was her name? Marjorie Terrell, something like that. I don't know. This is Loris. And, alright, I'm gonna be honest with you. This is Loris's little brother. Yeah, Willis. I have a 100% chance with her. Plan on making her dragonfly on a kite in front of her. And if that doesn't win her hand and her ass, I don't know what will. Oh, getting a little vulgar here. I'm gonna let you go. And
now we don't have time because we have a very brief time here with Tony. But we have 3 full messages of Loris Tyrell leaving us some interesting.
I would definitely. We could definitely do them.
Yeah, we'll definitely in the future. I'm gonna save these messages, and don't you worry if you're checking this out. We'll play this on our next Game of Thrones live stream. We need Bridge here for this too, because we're gonna hurt Bridge's virgin ears. But that guy is gonna be very interesting. So before we let Tony go, as it's 8:30, I promised him I'd get him out here at 8:30, so I don't want to keep him too much longer than that. Let's take a look at where our poll is, and then I will wrap things up here on the stream here. Will you two stream The Last of Us? Yes. Tony's going to be doing a pregame of The Last of Us, and at least some of the season. Maybe not every week, but a lot of times I will be jumping in with Tony on the pregame. And then Joe and I are going to be doing the post game, and Tony's invited to jump on in if he is up. I know he works on Monday mornings, and he'll probably be doing a video as well. So he
King Vitamin is one of the worst cereals ever created.
What is King Vitamin?
Listen,
Tony was going to go. He's stopping for this.
It's so bad. It's like grape nuts. It's just one of the worst. Like when I seen it, my body starts to shake because I have flashbacks of my mother trying to make me eat that shit. And I see that man and his saber in the box. Right, and King Vitamin is terrible. One of the worst cereals ever made. King Vitamin. I can't stand King Vitamin. No. Why would he even say that word? Like, put that there.
You made Tony very uncomfortable. Like he was ready to go, and he had to stop and talk. But Tony, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I know you got to get out. Sending you lots of love, and sending you and your friends and your whole group lots of love. Tony's going out to hang out with a bunch of friends tonight, and make sure you send all your good vibes to Tony. And also make sure, if you haven't already, you subscribe to Teflon TV. You can find the link in the description box below. Tony kills it on so many shows. He's going to be doing The Last of Us next, but also House of the Dragon, Usual Suspects stuff that I pop on. Gray Area pops on, Bridge 4. So many other friends pop on that channel. So make sure, if you haven't, you're subscribed to Teflon. Thank you so much, Tony, for joining in tonight.
Thanks for having me, Phil, as always. I hate grape. Grape nuts is disgusting. Oh, grape nuts is so disgusting. Those are disgusting things.
I mean, okay, so let's look, before I let you go, let's look at where our poll's at, because our poll is a very interesting situation, Tony. And I know we have right now winning at 32% of the vote, House of the Dragon. Number 2 at 28%, Better Call Saul. Number 3 is Other at 24%, and 16% say Severance, which
I don't think, to me, I don't think enough people see
Severance. I was just going to say, not enough people have seen Severance, and that's the problem with it. It's on Apple Plus, and no one wants to get Apple Plus. No one wants to get another streaming service. It's that fatigue of it. We could talk another half an hour just about the fatigue people feel with these streaming services, and I think that's the problem with the Severance thing.
Yeah. So real quick, I would say I'm gonna do my best. I want everyone to have Happy New Year. But my friend he's just about ready to pass away. It's going to happen most likely. It's just a matter of time. And so a bunch of us, we're just gonna get together and we're gonna just remember him as much as we can. And that's why I'm leaving. And that's the only reason why I'd be leaving. If not, I would be here hanging out with y'all for the rest of the night. But I got to go and do that. So I'm gonna have fun tonight, but it's not the fun that I want to be having, but I know that he would want us to have fun because that's who he was. So that's what we're going to try to do our best to do tonight. So, I would say Happy New Year to everybody. You know what I mean? And I'll be back. Be back.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Tony, for joining on in, buddy. We'll talk off air later. And Happy New Year to you. And not in a teasy way of something coming up very soon. Hopefully the next time I have you on, finally, I just want to thank you for being a friend. Like thank you in 2022 in a warped sort of way. Bridge, and I talk about this a lot off air in a weird sort of warped way. Tony and Bridge are like my closest friends right now. And I send you guys lots of love, and I hope you have an extremely good Happy New Year, and sending you lots of good energy to you and all your friends, Tony. Thank you so much. I'm a little drunk, but sending you lots of good energy, buddy. Thank you.
Yeah, have a good one, man. Peace.
You too. Thank you to Tony Teflon for joining in with us tonight. And I'm not going to be on for too much longer, but I did want to wrap things up with some babblery, some silliness, some wackery, because this is the last time I'm going to be on for the whole year. And the next time we're really going to be on, I might do a Soprano stream mixed in, but I'm drunk enough to feel like babbling. It's Uncle Phil's catch-up couch here at the end. No, I'm going to babble a little bit more here, wrap things up here about 9 o'clock. So if you got any more voicemails or questions or comments, now's the time. 781-990-8509. Get your comments in. I can even end the Do Not Disturb if anyone wants to actually call on in and actually talk live on the air. Now is the time. End right now. Do Not Disturb is travel and register. No, not right now. Oh, here we go. We got it right here. Jay, welcome to the show, Jay. How's it going, buddy? Can you hear me? Well, oh no, I gotta hit allow. Wait, you can't hear me yet. Now you can hear me.
Wants to actually call on in.
Could you turn down your live stream, Jay? I feel like I'm doing the radio show thing. I'm like, could you turn down your radio, Jay? What's going on, buddy? How you doing?
I didn't expect you to answer.
No, I know. I didn't expect to answer too. I announced it while you were calling, so I know I'm putting you on the spot here. I'm actually putting you on the air and babbling to you, but.
Okay, I just called to say I thought the best show of the year was actually a show that kind of sadly ended, but hopefully we'll get restarted again. Young Justice season 4.
Yeah. I've watched you. You were nice enough. Jay was amazing enough to give me access to his HBO at some point in time to catch up on Young Justice. I inevitably got into my cousin's one too, so I don't really bounce in there anymore. But huge love to Jay for doing that. Young Justice is awesome. It keeps up that DC universe kind of vibe that the original Justice League and Batman animated series did. Jay, I really do like it. I like how they cross over some of the voice actors, work on it too, and I do hope it continues somewhere. It's one of the things, as much as we want to glorify HBO, I hope they don't kill their animation division. They were supposed to be that Bruce Timm renewal of the Batman animated series too, and that's up in limbo too. I do hope we get more Young Justice because you set me on that series, and I think it's a very good one.
Which season did you get to?
3. I haven't watched 4 yet. I watched the first 3.
You started 3 or you finished 3?
I started 3. I'm in episode 3 of season 3. I'm at the first part of episode 3.
Oh, okay. When you get to season 4, it really gets adult.
I really liked season 2 though. Season 2, I didn't love season 1. I'll be honest with you. Season 2, I really liked though. I like season 2, and I'm liking season 3. I'm just watching other stuff right now. And
okay.
But Jay, thank you so much for calling on in. I Hate Stargirl ended this year. But yes, call on in, talk live. Jay might call in a little bit later too, but Jay is awesome. We love Jay. He's one of our best callers. But yeah, we're playing WKRP in Cincinnati. Phil, have you seen Everywhere All at Once? I have not. I haven't watched enough movies. I really need to get out and start watching movies more. That's my ticket. I need to do the. Where is Joe? Good question. I did want Joe to join tonight, but Joe is dealing again with some life stuff, and it's tough for him to join on a whim. He will be with us during the Last of Us live streams. He better be with us during the Last of Us live streams. I'm doing it because he requested it. So Joe will be around during that, but unfortunately, I mean, if you're watching right now, Joe, give me a call. I'll pop you in right now for these last 20 minutes. I mean, fuck all. Get Joe on in here. But send your love to Joe Dirty Locks too. He's going through some real life stuff right now. But hopefully he will be able to join us for every week of The Last of Us, considering, again, he's the expert in it. Let's see. I hear a good thing about favorite Better Call Saul episode this season. Mine was season 6, episode 7, Plan and Execution, several years worth. Absolutely. I think that might have been the best episode of the season, but there were a lot. I think I'd have to really think about it, but there were a lot of really great episodes. Even Breaking Bad was a really good episode of Better Call Saul. It's my show of the year, and it's hard for me to refute that. There are a lot of other really great shows this year. House of the Dragon, Severance and From, and all my top 10 list. But Better Call Saul was really the ultimate culmination of so many seasons of a show. And as I mentioned earlier when Tony was on, it's tough for a show to end strong, and that show ended strong. The Last of Us, I believe, starts January 15th or January 16th, whichever one of those days is a Sunday. It's taking that HBO Sunday slot. So we will be live on Sunday evenings. I also forgot to mention this. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my Twitch channel. I'm passively streaming on Twitch right now, but starting on January 20th or 21st, around then, I'm going to be streaming the new Fire Emblem game. And then in May, streaming the new Legend of Zelda game. So, and maybe in February, the new Harry Potter game. So make sure you check those streams out if you're into video game stuff. Phil the Issues Guy on Twitch. Cyberpunk was kind of fun. I had the most hype for exactly. It was the summer of Saul, Jackie. It was really just an excellent time, and then leading right that into House of the Dragon, which I know it's blasphemy. I have it low on my list. It still belongs in the top 10, and it was an amazing watch of a show and really fun. And you got to give HBO or the House of the Dragon creative team an extreme amount of credit. They were up against it. There was a lot of hate, a lot of frustration, a lot of built-up animosity with what Dan and Dave did with season 8 and how that all played out. And a lot of people went into House of the Dragon wanting to hate it. And you didn't hear a lot of hate coming out around it. Nitpicky, you can pick apart some of the edges. It has some strings hanging. Like, it's a good sew job, but it was quick at times. Not quick. I mean, I think they developed it long. But I just mean there's some hanging threads on some of the... But for the most part, it's a good TV series. And I think it's also worth giving it extra credit in this conversation, and that's why it's getting some votes for this best show of the year, because ultimately you guys are deciding. This vote that's going on right now in the live chat that I'm going to end at about 8:55, unless I get too drunk. If I can't make 13 minutes. No. But you guys are deciding. I gave my picks. Tony generally gave his picks. But the ultimate decision of the show of the year, The Issues Award winner comes from the motherfucking chat. That's right, the motherfucking chat. I don't know if I got, by the way, Luna, if you're still in the live chat, I don't know if I got what your pick was for for super chat donation. I don't know if you want me to play those silly drums over there. It's a little late. I'm not sure. It's early. Like 15 more minutes. I can still play the trumpet for a little while, but I can do, or you can request something if you want. But hey, Phil, do you think next year will be overall better for TV based on what I know is coming? No. I am excited about a lot of stuff in 2023, but I think 2022 culminated a lot of other things that were really important to me with Better Call Saul. That being said, I do think there's potential to knock me on my ass and surprise me and actually be better. If Severance Season 2 is good and we're not dealing with like a lost situation. If From Season 2 is good and we're not dealing with a lost situation. If House of Dragon's not coming back till 2024, right? If it's the best season of Invincible ever, if The Boys comes back in 2023 too, if Netflix surprises me with a couple of series that blow me out of the water, it's certainly possible. I'm excited for 2023. I'm most excited to be able to talk to you guys in 2023 about some amazing new shows. So I'm hoping I'm surprised, but 2022 was a pretty damn good year. When you end a show like Better Call Saul and you have a season like Stranger Things and The Boys, like the way that both those shows kicked so much ass this year, where they don't always. I mean, season 2 of The Boys was good, but it wasn't as good as season 3. Seasons 2 and 3, was this season 5 of Stranger Things or season 4? The other seasons of Stranger Things were good, but this was fucking awesome. Anyways, so top tier CJ. I think it's possible, but this was a very good year. It was a very good year. It was a very good year for Goofy and Weird Al having sex on the screen. Isn't that right, Phil? Yeah, that's right, Weird Al and Goofy. Thank you very much, Phil. Yes, I've reached the drunk part of the evening where I'm doing Goofy voices. Okay, so let's continue with the chat. Have you checked out Cyberpunk Edge Runners? No. Gus Fring is in the dub. That show bringing back the game from the grave. Sounds interesting and something I might check out at some point in time, but no, I have not. Steph knows, so I'd wait and maybe play after because the game will be better than the show. Tough call. Severance Season 2 may not be coming till 2024. Ooh, Atari Dad. Don't say such things. Don't be honest, Atari Dad. No, that's a horrible thought, but it's probably the case. It's probably going to take more time. Everything's taking more time, and I blame Westworld for all of this. I think Westworld was the first one to say, we're going to take 2 years for a season, and then Game of Thrones followed suit, and then everyone followed suit. Come on. No, and I know you want to make the best TV. They're like movies, so sometimes things take years of production to make happen. Phil, do you recommend playing The Last of Us before the show starts? I'll tell you what I'm doing, Sonic Boy, because I haven't played the game yet. But I have access to playing it. I'm not playing it. I'm waiting. I want to be as surprised as possible. Plus, I think it'll be interesting dynamic to talk to someone like Tony and Joe who have played the game and are experts and lovers of the game to get the alternative perspectives. Get the perspective from somebody that is watching it as a television series for the very first time and someone that is watching it as a video game fan that is holding it to the very high standard of what some people consider the greatest video game story of all time. And that's not me being hyperbolic. I haven't played it. And even not playing the game, I know the reputation of The Last of Us Series 1, the first game. And I know that is considered by a lot of people one of the best narratives in video game history. So it is being judged by a very high standard going into this series by the people that are fans of the game. I am going into this having never played the game and experiencing it as a series for the very first time. And I think if you, at this point, have never played the game, that's probably your best bet. So you're not judging it against that big of a entity. It's like when you go to school and your relatives have been awesome in school and you get in every class, you're like, I remember your cousin. He was awesome. And you're like, I'm not my cousin. I'm not awesome. I suck. So it's interesting going into it like that. Holy shit. We have a super chat donation from the one and only Top Tier CJ. Thank you for the thoughtful response, Phil. Thank you for the amazingness. I'm backing up and spinning the wheel, my friend. Thank you so much for the super chat donation. You were incredible, and you guys are amazing tonight. And it lives off Phil drink. Oh my goodness, I have to drink. I don't like this. I'm drunk already. You guys are getting very drunk on Uncle Phil's ketchup couch, and I am I'm doing it. Thank you so much for everyone that's sticking with me tonight and joining on in. I appreciate it. We're going to start wrapping up things in the next 10 minutes, but keep going here for a little bit. I appreciate you guys. Thank you, Top Tier. Listen, Sonic, that's a tough call. I already played it, but it's wondering, Phil, have you checked out? No, I have not. We can't see you, Phil. I know I'm doing hippie activities. How is Joe doing? Joe is doing great. But you know what? You know what, everybody? It's about time. It's about time. You know, it's one more year. It's time to look at our poll and do one last motherfucking recap. It's recap time. Let's recap our top 10 list. No. Top 5 list. My top 5 are the Boys, number 5. From number 4. The Bear, number 3. Oh, wait. Flip that. From number 3. The Bear, number 4. Severance and Better Call Saul. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Well, that looks like trash in the background, but we'll deal with it for now. Thank you so much, everyone. So let's get to our vote. There it is. You guys wanted to see the issues. You guys wanted to see a recap. I got issues. I know. If I smoke so much weed, shouldn't I be like less crazy? Shouldn't I be more chill? I don't know. Okay. Honorable mention for Best Actor of the Year and Bust Out Actor is, of course, Recap Guy. Recap Guy was unbelievable. I don't know if I can go with next season of House of the Dragon without talking with Recap Guy. He was amazing. Weed definitely smokes me. Gets all up in me. Shemp Hemp! We got Shemp Hemp in the live motherfucking chat. I love Shemp Hemp, one of my favorite names. I hope you all are. I hope you're all smoking up enjoying this nonsense, having a good time. Holy shit, another super chat from Top Tier Hype. CJ, Happy New Year, epic recap. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I felt like I needed to give you guys one last recap, and I saw it requested a couple times in the live chat. If I can keep anything going in this channel, crazy ass recaps. I love it. Phil, I'm so chill right now. I wish I was that chill. But I have to spin the wheel again for that super chat donation. I heard this mentioned a couple times, Atari Dad. Another great HBO Max show is Smiling Friends. The guy who made that show started doing YouTube animations. It's adult. Oh, cool. An animated series of some sort. I'm trying to check that out. The fucking wheel is broken. How'd that land on drink again? I don't want that to be drink. Yes, yellow is drink. What the fuck? Fuck that. Drink again. Like, what the fuck is your problem, wheel? The wheel is getting me shit-faced, and I don't like it. So let's get into our vote. Thank you guys. You guys have been amazing. I swear. I know everyone thinks that they're lucky. I feel like I have the best live motherfucking chat in all of Twitch or YouTube. You guys are amazing. Smash that fucking wheel. You guys are incredible for these super chat donations. Again, I'm not Reefer fucking madness. Luna dancing. Thank you so much. And I just want to pay special attention to, we have some channel members. You see some people using some special emojis. They get access to some special live streams, mainly when I stream from my live phone and act like an idiot. But really, all of our people that support us on Patreon or our channel members, really, I give you guys a little bit extra, but really it's just, I appreciate you wanting to help support us here. And if you can, you can. If you can't, you can. I love you guys all equally the same, but I do appreciate all the channel members and all the super chatters and all the patron members that help support the channel during the year and help me keep doing this. You know, like it helps pay for the internet to help keep doing this and help pay for the streaming apps to help keep doing this and be able to keep talking about these series. So I thank you guys so goddamn much for those of you helping us out here. And I thank anyone that's in the chat and likes the video and shares it out too. At least all of you guys do that. And I know the people that are close to us here, we're a inbred group of love here. So I appreciate all of you guys that have spread the word and helped drag people in here in 2022, which was a really good year for us with Better Call Saul and all of that stuff in the final season of The Walking Dead. And even tonight, you guys did a great job all coming out here to help support a really random stream on the night before New Year's Eve in 2022. So I'm a little buzzed. I just jumped around like an idiot. So I'm slightly emotional. So I do thank you guys for keeping me doing this here after, a tough stretch. So I love all of you guys. You guys are great. So I got to do some more hippie activities, but we got to get to our response here. I want to jump around like an idiot again. I got to play my drums. What the fuck? I got to play some fucking drums. It's about time. That's basically me playing the drums while you're looking at my Ninja Turtle butt. So whatever. Sorry. I've been in the mood to play the drums, and they're just like, I like see them in the shot with me. I'm like, I gotta play. I gotta go play the drums, dude. I gotta play the drums, dude. I love you, Luna, and you guys are amazing. What year did Squid Game come out? I believe last year, right? 2021. Great show. I wish I got a chance to talk about it when it was on the air and still able to talk about it. I really enjoyed that first season. So I think that was 2021. I could be wrong. I'm fucking wrong. No. Have we got spoon solo tonight? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know if we got spoons. We don't got any spoons, motherfucker. What are you talking about? Spoons. We don't got spoons. We don't need no stinking spoons, motherfucker. What are you talking? Spoons. What a fucking motherfucker this guy is. Let me turn the volume down. Silliness. Silly bongos. Silly spoons. Ow! No, listen, guys, everyone. I appreciate all you guys joining tonight, jumping up aboard the hype train. Sorry, that was stupid. But yes, I appreciate all of you guys joining in tonight. All the silliness, all the goofiness, all the fun. I'm just like picking random instruments up and just hitting things and going, oh no, what's going on here? Just a bunch of stupidness, sorry. Okay, so here we go. I'm glad you can keep doing this. Literally, thank you, top tier. The only way I keep doing this is with the help that you guys keep me going. So I really do appreciate that you guys are out here. You know, the fact that I'm here 2 hours in with still a big chunk of you guys out here checking this out, having fun with me, being silly. I very much appreciate it. It keeps me going here. You know, it keeps me having fun. Squid Game Season 2 is not out yet. It's another show that I hope really matches Season 1, but it's tough. I mean, it's tough. Some shows get better as they go. Some shows peak in Season 1. And I hope that Squid Game is something that can get better as it goes, but it may never reach that because part of the thing that was amazing about it was the surprise and not really understanding or knowing what was happening while it was going on. No dogs tonight. I get dogs on the 1st, and then I have dogs for a couple of weeks. But I actually have a random couple of evenings without any dogs, which is really weird. When you have dogs constantly here, and then you suddenly don't, it's a weird vibe. Champemp, you're an amazing guy too, buddy. Oh, thank you. I was trying not to be too loud. I appreciate it. I'm very suspicious. I'm a suspicious guy. Suspicious minds. So let's get into our poll. Let's end our fucking poll here. Wait. Can I end it? Do I have the power? I don't know. I don't know if I have the power. Sorry. Wait, where is it? Come on. End the poll. Let's end our poll. Where are we going? Best show of the year, House of the Dragon by a large amount, wins. The best show of the year according to the Issues program. Oh, sorry, I got turned up a little bit. Issues program. The Issues award winner of the best show of the year is House of the Dragon. And number 2 on that list is Better Call Saul, 39%, 29%. We had 19% say other. In hanging out at last position, Severance. And as Tony said, I think part of that has to do with not a lot of people saw Severance, but maybe they did and they rank it low. So I have no control over it. Part of the joy of tonight was saying that, no, my opinion doesn't fucking matter. Tony's opinion tonight doesn't matter. You guys make the decision. And tonight, everybody, you guys in the live motherfucking chat decided that House of the Dragon is the best show of the year. And I can't say or do anything about that motherfucking shit. So that is awesome. I'm sorry, I was going to do something, but don't save. But then I screwed up with some windows. I was going to say, and the winner is, because I should have a picture, right? Don't I? Yeah, the winner of the best show of the year is House of the fucking Dragon. House of the fucking Dragon. Motherfucker. You guys win. and House of the Dragon wins. So that's our show of the year according to the audience. Love it. I fucking love it. A couple of years ago at this point, Atari, I demand a recount. Maybe next year is going to be a great show. Come on, 1997. All because of the damn crab feeder. Dogs are cool. But yeah, Atari Dad in 2020. Going out with a bada bang, bada boom, bada bang. I know my room looks trashed right now. My recap destroyed the room. It was looking all classy for a little while tonight, like all organized and stuff. But not tonight. Tonight it looks like fucking trash. Matt Damon. Okay, everyone. Last call for alcohol. Pour your last drink. Last few minutes here. If anyone wants a last minute voicemail or call in, now's the time. 781-990-8509. Otherwise, we're going to wrap things up here. I thank all of you guys for joining me tonight and joining Tony Teflon tonight for this live stream about the best and worst shows of the year. Sorry about the technical difficulties with Tony's microphone. That's all on me. I tried a new connecting way to connect our calls, and it did not work out quite as well, and Tony's mic was going in and out all night. I heard it too. I'm sorry about that, but it was good to have Tony on, and huge thanks to him for joining us tonight. Atari Dad, that's honestly, without getting too personal, that definitely had an effect on it. Being stuck in the same place and same person, whether it's friends or family or relationships, it's tough. Sometimes relationships depend on free time. Happy New Year to everybody. Next time, let's do dialogue lines for our favorite. Luna, that's a great idea for a show. And something we should keep an eye out for the next year. Best lines of dialogue to add to another category for our Issues Award show. I think it was like 2015 through 2017. We basically did a lot of stuff. Wait, let me see. Let me see if we do it. Welcome to the show, caller. How are you tonight?
I'm good.
Who is this?
This is Diane.
Oh, welcome to the show, Diane. It's great to talk to you, DJ.
Yeah. So you're kind of echoey, but tell me about the show Severance. I've never even heard of it. Where do I see it? What is it about?
And I'm sorry, it's just the way that the microphone's connected to the call. I probably sound like I'm in a tunnel or something. Severance is an interesting show. So imagine if you went to work, your brain got cut off, and it sort of created its own identity, and you were still DJ Better, Diane, but you had no memory of your life outside of work. So the minute you walk into work, into the office, you become this unique version of yourself that only exists in work. So to that work version, you're always in work, like constantly. And to your other version, you feel like you're never at work. So it's like the innies and the outies. That's what they call it, like the people that are in the office. So it's all about this company that makes you do severance to work for them so that they can just do whatever they want with your innie selves, and your outie selves doesn't know. So that's basically the whole concept behind the show. Anything else I don't want to spoil for you?
Wait a minute. Walking into work, you have every memory?
Yes, walking into work, you're yourself. You're just you, right? And the moment you take the elevator into work, once you pass the 5th floor, for instance, your brain wipes and you become essentially a mental clone of yourself. Almost like you're patricianing, you're separating your drive. Like when you take your hard drive and you make another hard drive out of it, you're basically taking yourself and cutting your personality and creating an identity that only exists in work. And it's
okay.
So and it's all based around that concept to a certain extent, and how messed up they could get. And then also they work for the company that runs this is a very dark kind of company that does a lot of really messed up things.
Okay. I don't know if I'm intrigued or not.
And that's the thing about it. Unfortunately, I feel like when you describe it, it doesn't sell you on how good it actually feels. Because the description of it sounds kind of like, oh, that sounds okay, but that's not my thing. But when you're watching it, it comes off almost like just like a workplace drama. It's weird. It's Christopher Walken's in it. He's really good. So is what's his name? John Turturro, who is Jesus in the Big Lebowski movies. If you don't know who John Turturro is, so it's got a lot of really good actors. But I feel like even in my description of it, I'm underselling it. Atari Dad in the live chat says their inside selves are basically slaves. They're always working and they cannot leave, even if they don't want to work there. It's not really sci-fi. It's more, someone in the chat, Sonic asked if it's sci-fi. It's more, again, I don't want to compare it to Lost, but I almost think like Lost is a whole genre. It's more mystery box. Like, what's going on? What's going on in this world? What's going on? But it's unique too, because it's a unique concept. So I don't know if it's going to be for you, DJ, but I would say it's one of those shows that if you watch the first episode, you would know by the end of the first episode if it was for you.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll try the first episode. Usually that either sucks me in or I just never go back to it.
You should let it suck you right in. Sorry, I don't know why I don't know why I made that weird. I made that weird with the suck. I was like, suck it right in.
Okay. You know what's funny? Queen's Gambit sucked me in, and then at the end, I was like left unsatisfied.
Did you say the Queen's Gambit?
Yeah.
That was a great show at the start, but you feel like the end let you down with the way it finished off?
Yeah, like I was totally invested in the story every single step of the way, and then the end went,
No, I hear you. You know that the actress that played the main character in that is going to be doing the voice of Princess Peach in the new Super Mario movie.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know if I can see that, but I like the
Oh my, that's Mario gossip.
Yep, that's Mario gossip. Oh, it's Mario time, DJ. It's Mario gossip, and what Charlie Day is playing Luigi, and Star-Lord is playing Mario, and Jack Black is Koopa, I believe. Yeah, you can't. And as Marky Mark says in the live chat, you can't rush the frickin' process, DJ Better. You can't.
You know, Ghost was my favorite.
Ghost with Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore?
No, in the Mario Kart.
Oh, the Ghost, the Pooh.
Yeah, I was always the Boo.
The Boo. I was usually Yoshi in Mario Kart. In Smash Brothers, I use Link, but that's Zelda. That's a different thing. So if you're talking about Mario Kart, I usually use Yoshi. The Boo. When you're like Ghost, I'm thinking you're talking about the Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore movie, and like.
Yeah, no. I was talking about Boo. I was always Boo.
And yes, as RY says in the live chat, Chris Pratt will be playing Chris Pratt as Mario. He's not actually playing Mario. He's playing Chris Pratt as Star-Lord as Mario. Or something like that. But I'm still looking forward to that. I'm cheesy enough that I like Super Mario enough that I'm looking forward to the Mario movie. I like the Mario movie. It's not good, but I like the Mario movie that came out when we were kids. The John Leguizamo and Bob Hoskins and Dennis Hopper shitty Super Mario movie. It was horrible, but I liked it. It was bad. Well, I know you didn't expect to actually talk on the air, DJ, so I'll let you go. Thank you for calling on in.
All good. Yep. You take care. Have a happy new year.
You too, my friend. Great to talk to you. And that's the wonderful DJ Better calling on in. And thank you so much. And I just put her on the air. She's thinking she's leaving a voicemail, and I'm putting people on the air. I always play Wario. In most Mario sports games, I play Waluigi. I know he's like a whatever character because he wasn't really created by the Nintendo. He was only created in Mario Tennis by the secondary company to create a partner for Wario. But in most games, I just can't get enough of Waluigi. Tim F in the live chat. Great to see you pop in the live chat, Tim motherfucking F. So everyone, one more time, huge happy new year to all of you. I could go on another fucking hour right now. I really could. I'm in a Babble Fest 97 kind of mood, but we've been on a couple of hours now. It's good enough time as any to start to wrap things up. Everyone, I hope you all have an extremely happy new year. Let me take one more drink. Unless we get any more voicemails or super chat questions, I will wrap things up in the next few minutes. Let me take one more shot to you guys for the new year. I still laugh about how in the Switch Mario Kart, they had to change the Inkling's gesture in the West because it was considered obscene. I still laugh because the Space Jam movie had to take out Pepe Le Pew but kept in the Clockwork Orange characters. It's like, I'm pretty sure Clockwork Orange is worse. Oh my goodness, what do we got? We got another caller in. Caller, this is scary. Caller, welcome to the show. Happy New Year. How are you doing tonight? Can you hear me, caller? Oh, the caller didn't think that they were calling in. They thought they were leaving me a voicemail. And they were like, fuck. This fucking asshole's talking to me. Did you see White Lotus, says Luna. Super chat donation. Thank you, White. Luna, spin that wheel. I haven't yet. I watched the first episode. I liked it. I haven't binged it yet, but I hear nothing but great things about White Lotus, and it is a show I hopefully catch up on before the next season of it. I do know Michael Imperioli was on the most recent season of it, and I can't wait to watch it. But it landed on everyone drink, so I don't care what you're drinking, whether it's water or coffee or Coca-Cola Classic, Red, White, and You, or Pepsi or whatever. Whatever the fuck you're drinking, wherever the hell you're doing, raise the drink to Issues program, coming upon, heading into its 10th year of this channel. I mean, the Issues program's been going on since the radio show on the college radio show, but since we've been on this particular, and then the year before, I was on a different YouTube channel. But this YouTube channel started up in 2013, September 2013, for the final season of Better Call Saul. So, toast, coming upon our 10th year of doing this crap. Toast it up. Oh, everyone drink. Skull! Inkling did that gesture in the original Western release of the Mario Switch. Basically, Japan has a gesture similar to Up Yours. It's completely innocent, but what the fuck? Bonsai, Daniel-san. Bonsai. Cheers to you, Shemp Hemp. Happy New Year. Fucking awesomeness. You guys are fucking awesome. I can't believe it's been this point. It's this many years into my live streaming experience. I don't think have I done a review of The Big Lebowski? I don't think I've done a review of The Big Lebowski, which is a very important movie to my friend group. I need to get a group of my friends together and do a proper review of The Big Lebowski. Maybe I'll get my cousins together, Alan and Craig, to talk some Lebowski. That would be fun. But yeah, long time. I mean, I started my radio show in 2009. It was either 2008 or 2009. I think it was 2008. And I did 3 hours a week on 6 to 9 p.m. on Wednesdays. And it was fun. I played music too. I didn't just talk. The first hour, I basically just played music. And then the second hour, I would talk. And then the third hour, I would do both. That's basically it. I would basically grip it and rip it news. I wasn't talking about television shows. I would mention TV shows and break them down. Joe would occasionally join me via Ventrilo, like a Ventrilo server, because he was at home playing Warcraft. He was in his Warcraft age. My buddy John Riley was on those streams a lot. My buddy Devin, my cousin Alan would jump in, Craig sometimes. But I did a radio show for, I think, about 2 years. And then I also interned at a radio station. Then I did a online radio, a unregular radio it was called. And then eventually joined up with this crew called the Land of Esh and did a year of live podcasts on a separate YouTube channel, not this channel, which were all current events kind of podcasts. And then I started a new channel and decided to do a Breaking Bad live stream after the final season of Breaking Bad. And then that kind of led to Walking Dead, then Game of Thrones, and then a bunch of other stuff after that. But I thank everyone that checked me out for all those years, and I hope you join me for another fucking many years, and we bust it out and go crazy in 2023. So thank you so much. And if you haven't, like I said, subscribe to our Twitch channel for silliness down that road. And is Phil's full name public knowledge? Curious if there's any record of it on the radio show. I used to say Issues got Issues Phil. It's welcome to the Issues program named Phil. A couple people have said my full name on live streams. It's definitely happened. Especially if you listen to the Sopranos live stream, Matt says it a lot. Because historically through elementary school and junior high school, he called me by my last name. So he'll refer it to me sometimes. Radio, yeah, I was a boomer. I was on college radio. It was a very and then I interned at another local radio station, WFNX. Definitely a boomer. No, but I'm a Gen Xer. But I was still at that point where when I first started doing this, I wanted a radio show. I didn't want a podcast. I was like, I want a radio show. Lebowski is the best description of LA I've seen as someone who lived there for 10 years. I got to do a Big Lebowski live stream, and I hope you join me for that one, Rye. Phil 2024, I hope it is. One more drink. Toast to you all. Love you guys. Don't call me Phil. I'm the Lebowski. I'm the dude, man. Have a happy new year, everyone. Talk to you next time. What was that, Texter? You wanted one more drum solo? I don't know if it's going to be any good. It's probably not going to be any good, but here we go. That was okay. That wasn't the best drum solo to end the new year. Let me do one more drum solo for the new year. Do we have an... Thank you, everyone. Sorry for the silliness. Sorry for the silly drumming. Everyone, thank you so much for joining me. I'll talk to you guys next time.
Wasted courses, gonna find a whole lot
It's a hot hour rant tonight. It's a hot hour rant tonight. Fuck auto. Fuck auto. Fuck auto. Fuck auto. It's a hot hour rant tonight. It's a hot hour rant tonight. Fuck auto. Fuck auto. Fuck auto. Fuck auto. It's a hot hour rant tonight. It's a hot hour rant tonight. Fuck auto. Fuck auto. Shut your fucking face, Uncle Fucker. You're a dragon, Ryan, lion, Uncle Fucker. You're an Uncle Fucker, yes, it's true. No motherfuckers quite like you. Shut your fucking face, Uncle Fucker. You're the one that fucks your uncle, Uncle Fucker. You don't eat or sleep, just have some spawn and fuck your uncle all night long.
What's that over there? I don't know. Oh, it's just the Targaryens inbreeding again. It's so typical. Which ones are on it again now?
At least they're not on a phone.
Rhaenyra and Daemon. Oh, that's exciting. I don't think it's exciting, but Rhaenyra is now. She is.
Shut your fucking face, Uncle Fucker. Shut your fucking face, Uncle Fucker. You're an Uncle Fucker, I must say. I fucked him on Dragonstone yesterday. Uncle Fucker, that's you. Rhaenyra,